So it's really just a quick overview. So yeah, getting the right solution, a digital solution for your business. Well, the most important starting point is your infrastructure. Many companies, they're thinking, right, well, let's have that £500, but really it's more about getting the right structure for the business, getting the right laptop or PC or tablet. But look at your infrastructure as a whole. You've got to think about security. You've got to think about data security, cyber security. Your infrastructure is going to be really important. You've got to think about storage, cloud storage, because you're going to have a lot of businesses want to save images, and storage can be very inexpensive. So you've got to look at that, and backups. You've got to have a system that has regular backups. Connections, vital. I mean, as we all know, in Norfolk, there are pockets of loose connections, but these can be resolved. But it's really important to have strong connections in broadband, and your phone systems. Now, there are options. A lot of people don't really know about VoIP, which is Voice over Internet Protocol. And when I mention it to them, and they say, "What is that?" all I say is it's a cheaper version of actually running your telephone over the internet. It may be worth looking at. So it's really highlighting the starting points of getting the infrastructure right. So that's always a starting point with the conversations that I have with these guys. Now I'm going to just go through the key areas that we talk about. And the first one is going to be their website. Without their website, they really can't become digitally transformed. The website is their door to the world. That's where people are going to come to find them, to see what they're doing, to log on to their information. So I always say, look, what do you want your website to achieve? Because a lot of companies think, I need a website, let's get something up, and that's it, which doesn't really work. So I say to them, what do you want to achieve? Okay, yeah, of course, new customers, but how are you going to get those new customers? How are you going to create the information to capture those customers? What forms do you want on your site? Are you going to link it to a back-end system like a CRM? What's your branding going to look like? What are you actually how are you positioning yourself? Do you have a logo? What colors? Just think about how you want people to perceive you. And the content is really important, because the content drives things like social media. So are you going to have blogs, articles, videos? What sort of content are you going to start driving to get your customers? And also save time. A lot of the companies that I talk to are 1- or 2-man bands. So automation is pretty critical, because they just don't have time. Time is a real premium. So I asked them about thinking about automating processes. So the next thing, once you've got a website developer up and running, try and get somebody who's au fait with SEO and analytics. Again, same questions. What do you want your SEO to achieve? You need to understand how to get your keywords right, how to get the backlinks and understand the backlinks. But this all comes with the person that we put them in touch with to help them understand what they've got to do to achieve the SEO strategy, which effectively is driving people to the website. So more visits, more conversions, more customers. And then underneath that, you've got the analytics. And I explained to them, the analytics actually describes how your people are coming to your site, what sort of conversions, what pages are they visiting, what sort of volumes, what sort of unique visits by IP. And I explained the IP is effectively the location of their PC, or the identification of their PC or laptop. So it helps them understand what sort of customers are coming to their website. Good old CRM. What do you want your CRM to achieve? Well, again, they want customers, but they need to manage their customers. Customer relationship management is what CRM is all about. So I asked them, what sort of strategy have you got? If you haven't got a strategy, we need to actually start putting something down so you understand where you're going, because you need a CRM that's going to meet the demands of the business as it grows. So it's all about retaining your customers, existing customers being critical. It's all about profiling what you've already got, doing an 80-20, because 20% of your customers are going to come from 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your customers. It'll drive efficiencies. it'll drive productivity. All these areas are what a CRM will actually help you to achieve. Cleansing is critical, and you only cleanse it by using it. If you don't use it, the data will go out of date, and it goes out of date really quickly. In a 12-month period, 70% of your data will be utterly useless and out of date if you don't constantly keep it clean. Setting up templates really is all down to the automation process as well. Anything that makes your management of keeping in touch with customers quick and easy. And when you're setting up a CRM, you need to understand who's going to use it, because workflow is vital to the people who are going to use it. So don't just get something off the shelf and stick it in there. Have something that's going to work for everybody in the business so that they get a buy-in, otherwise they won't use it. And again, measurement. Think about how you're going to measure CRM and its effectiveness. Social media, again, this is all part of driving traffic to your site. So you've got to think, who's your target market? What sort of media are you going to be using? Because there's a lot of choice out there. There are hundreds and hundreds of social media applications. You've got to pick the one that's good for you. So if you're in an image type business, food, restaurants and stuff, you probably need Instagram, you probably need Pinterest. But if you're in a B2B, high B2B, you're probably just going to concentrate maybe on LinkedIn or Twitter, possibly business, Facebook for business. So you've got to really choose what your target market is, where your target market's going to be. And are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to outsource it, or are you going to have a hybrid of some in the business and maybe a training program outside the business? So think about how you're going to set it up. And then what are you going to write? What are you actually going to post for each product or service? And try and automate it, because you can actually get social media automated a month in advance. But you need help on this. And again, part of the process of the Go Digital program is to get people in front of the right people to help them move forward. And then how are you going to measure it? Social media is key. The key measurement analytics for that are the social mentions, how often you get mentioned, which you can get tagged for, and also brand hashtags as well. So you can actually set up certain brags you want to follow, certain hashtags you want to follow for brands. And obviously, how many views are you getting for each of your posts is a way you can manage how many followers that you're getting on your social media. So the whole social media area is critical for driving traffic to your business. Those are the key ones, but there is so much more. Think about your email setup. What are you going to use? You got Google, you got Outlook, you got webmail. Look at accounting solutions. Look at note-taking when you're in meetings. How are you going to capture the notes? There's a lot of electronic devices and applications out there that can help you. What office suite are you going to be using? This is all part of setting up the business to give you a digital footprint to actually help your digital move forward. If you're obviously in an image focused business, you might be doing a lot of photo editing and video editing, but then video editing is good for testimonials as well. So there are quite a few areas within the digital platform that you need to consider right from the start. And that's part of the overall strategy to actually help you become digitally transformed and get you on that position moving forward, to get your business moving forward rather. That's a really quick highlight of the overall areas that I try and encourage businesses to think about when setting up their digital transformation or their digital footprint, and helping them become more effective by using the right digital tools.